Test, 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 test.
Test, test, test.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the Sean Wall Pavilion, where we've got coverage for you of the 8-15 Maryland Terrapins' volleyball match against the Michigan Wolverines, who sit at 16-8. My name is Peter Kelly. I'm joined today by Mary Tompkins. Terps coming off of a tough 5-set loss to last place Ohio State in the Big Ten. That was yesterday at 1. They had a 2-1 advantage before being unable to close it out against the Buckeyes, so they dropped to 1-12 in the Big Ten. That is 17th. That is tied for last. They had a 6-game skid, but they're looking to snap it today against the Wolverines, who sit at 11th in the Big Ten. Their last time out, they had a nice reverse sweep on Friday against Rutgers. I'll turn it over to you now, Mary. What do you think that Maryland could do here to snap this 6-game losing streak? Yeah, coming on that 6-game losing streak, it's crucial that they play some beautiful offense today, tied together with some great communication. They have a bit of a challenge. The Wolverines do present some pretty powerful players like Allison Jacobs, a grad student who will be a starter for the Wolverines. So I'm looking to see just a lot of teamwork on that aspect, but also some great defense to respond to some of those powerful players. Well said. Maryland looking to get back in the win column. It's been a tough go of it over the last about 3 weeks. Their last Big Ten win, their last win in general, was a nice 3-1 win at home over Rutgers. The lineup's getting read out now, and then we'll have coverage for you starting in about 3 minutes. Already it looks like we're going to see some pretty substantive changes in the starting lineup for Maryland. Holding down the fort at the libero is going to be Allie Williams. We've seen her in every game this year. Terps finishing up their introductions as the two head coaches hug it out at midcourt. Adam Hughes for Maryland, Aaron Virtue for Michigan. Teams will shake hands one more time, and then we'll get ready to go as the Maryland Pep Band plays some war to get us in the mood for this Big Ten Sunday afternoon clash between two storied programs in this conference. So Maryland starters have hit the floor. We'll go over Michigan's first. They're going to go with Serena Nyambio, the senior middle blocker wearing number 1. Allison Jacobs, who's the key outside hitter for this team. Samara Gordon wearing number 3. Then Morgan Burke, Ella Demetrician, Jenna Haynes, and Maddie Cochran in the white libero jersey this afternoon. For Maryland, some big shakeups in the starting lineup, namely Ajak Malawal and Lily Wagner not in the starting lineup for the first time this season. Replacing Malawal will be Katie Scherer, the senior pin hitter from St. Charles, Illinois. She's joined also in the starting lineup by Annika Sokol, the backup setter who takes the place of Lily Wagner. Joining them in the starting lineup, Haley Melby, Sydney Bryant, Drew Reduction, Allie Williams, the libero, and Eva Rohrbach, the junior from San Diego.
An exciting energy here in the gym. Maryland sports always on a bit of a high, always brings out a lot of fun fans and good energy here.
Yeah, nice solid crowd here in the pavilion today for this Sunday afternoon clash. Here we go. Maryland sends it away with Haley Melby wearing the red number 4. Sends it over towards Michigan, dug up by Cochran. Set up, tipped over by Demetrician, but it's blocked at the net. First point of the match goes to Maryland.
It's a good start. Interesting to see how Michigan will play. As you mentioned earlier, that matchup against Rutgers. Kind of a comeback following the 2 sets, able to take it after 5 sets total, but interested to see how they might play today to avoid something like that again.
Nice rally going on here. This time it's Michigan collecting the blocks. Serena Nyambio in on it. So it goes 1-1, tied up here in the early going. Leading off serving from Michigan, it's going to be Ella Demetrician, the 6'2" outside hitter from Appleton, Wisconsin. She strides up, now sends it away with the right heel of the hand. Dug out by Bryant, set up by Sokol. Swing by Bryant, just missed. She went right down the middle, but it misses about 6 inches too deep. So it's Michigan jumping out to a 2-1 lead. Back to serve again is Ella Demetrician. Demetrician has taken on that second outside hitter role today. She's played 18 straight games after splitting time early on with Amalia Simmons, including starting 16 of the last 17. She sends this one away with the right. Nice dig out there by Bryant. Set up by Sokol, it's Bryant again, blocked by Nyambio. But this time the point will go to Michigan. Serena Nyambio, 2 early blocks. Also in out was Samara Gordon, and Michigan has 3 straight points after the opening point by Maryland. Demetrician strides up, now sends it away right into the top of the net. Service error for Ella Demetrician, and Maryland gets the point back, and they will go back to the service line with Eva Rohrbach. Rohrbach wearing the double fours, number 44. Maryland in their white numerals, red shirts, black shorts. Rohrbach strides up, holds it over her head, now sends it away with the right. Dug out by Demetrician, set up for Gordon, blocked at the net. Point Michigan. It was blocked, but it was blocked out of play, so Michigan gets their 4th point of the match. Gordon's going to get credit for the kill. Back serving is Maddie Cookram, the grad student libero from Downers Grove, Illinois. She sends it away with the right. A line drive is dug out by Melby. Sokol sets up Bryant. Tries to tip it over. Nice dig out there. Michigan will now get another chance at it. The swing and the kill by Allie Jacobs. Jacobs gets the Wolverines to 5 points on the day. Allison Jacobs, in from UCLA after spending 2021 there, has been here for her last 4 years. She has certainly made an impact in the maize and blue. We'll get a stoppage of play here. Not sure what the issue is, but Maddie Cookran was ready to serve, and she'll have to take a hiatus. It appears the refs may be taking a look at something here. While we have this brief hiatus, we'll tell you a little bit about Maryland's last time out. That's yesterday, just about 24 hours ago. They played the Buckeyes of Ohio State here in the Pavilion. It was a 5-set loss. The 4th set really in particular went in Maryland's favor, 25-11 was the final score in that 4th set. Maryland hit .452, and they held OSU to a 0 hitting percentage. But the 5th set just got away from them. They dropped that one 15-12. So they could not do enough against Ohio State. Leading the way from Maryland, Ajak Malawal, 16 kills. Also added in 3 aces. Sydney Bryant right behind her with 13 kills. And Katie Scherer subbing into that pin hitter role. The sophomore from Illinois, collecting 8 kills at a .500 hitting percentage. So already, as mentioned before, some big changes in the starting lineup for Maryland. Ajak Malawal had started the first 23 matches here at Maryland. The transfer from Tennessee, the Rome, Italy native, will get a seat on the bench today. And it's not a place she's comfortable with. Not only does she start every match, but she'll play nearly every point of every match. So it's going to be a different look for her, but it's also good for Coach Adam Hughes to see what depth that he has behind her. And particularly looking at Katie Scherer, just a sophomore, 6'2" outside hitter. Looks like they were reviewing a call, but it was confirmed, so the point will stay with Michigan.
And then a minute 30 in, Michigan does carry a 3-point lead over the Terps at 5-2, Michigan.
Maddie Cookran bounces it a few times. The libero serves this one away towards Maryland. First touch by Bryant, but it's not a good one. It sends it into the net. Sokol was trying to track after it, so set it back up. But it's an error by Sydney Bryant, and another point for the Michigan Wolverines. They lead this one 6-2 in set number 1. Cookran bounces, spins it in her hands, now sends it away. This one will go out. Service error for Maddie Cookran. The ref right on top of it. Just missed that side touchline. And Maryland benefiting from the service error as we'll get our first substitution. Checking out is Katie Scherer, and checking in is Lily Wagner, and she will go right to the service line. Also checking out was Sokol, so Lily Wagner the lone setter, and checking back in is Dura Gokchin, the middle blocker. Serve from Wagner is a good one, dug out nicely by the libero, and a big swing there, and the kill by Michigan.
Wagner unable to get under that ball in time. Interested to see, as you mentioned, Peter, Wagner, a consistent starter for the Terps, what this change in the starting roster might do for these players that are so used to starting, Wagner in particular.
Michigan back to serve. It's Camille Edwards, the redshirt freshman from Dallas, sends it over towards Bryant. Another poor touch from Bryant. Went over towards Michigan, and the swing was taken by Jacobs, but she looked like she touched the net there, so the point will stay with Michigan, and a timeout's called by Maryland. Already backs against the wall, 8-3 Michigan in the early going. Maryland just a little bit overwhelmed so far by Michigan. They've had really good service, has the Wolverines. They're targeting Sydney Bryant early on, and Bryant trying to bump it back up to her teammates and get a set off, but unfortunately a lot of her bumps just go too strong, and they either hit the net or go right over it. Right back to the Wolverines, and then they can set up a possession from there. Michigan already 8 points. They're hitting 600 clip. They're letting kills by Allison Jacobs, their leading killer on the year. 2 kills on 2 total attacks. Terps break the timeout huddle quickly. Already checking in, coming off the bench for the first time this season is AJ Malawal. Malawal, the Rome, Italy native. The senior outside hitter stands at 6'1", wearing number 3. She checks back in with the team down 5 in the early goings. Malawal trying to be the difference maker for Coach Adam Hughes. Joining her on the floor, Allie Williams, the libero, the constant throughout the year. Haley Melby, Sydney Bryant, Lily Wagner also in with her, and Duru Gökçen, the middle blocker from Istanbul. Michigan retakes the floor. Maddie Cooker, the libero, comes back out. She's joined by Camille Edwards, as well as Ella Demetrician, Allison Jacobs, Ellie White.
Camille Edwards will go to the line for the Wolverines.
Edwards back to serve. She's kind of the second setter. Sends it over towards Bryant. Nice setup by Bryant. Melby over to Bryant. Bryant with the swing and the kill. Sydney Bryant gets her first kill of the match after 13 yesterday. She gets the Terps' 4th point of the day. It's 8-4 Michigan. And back to serve after just subbing in is Addie Kennedy, the freshman from Morrisville, North Carolina. Kennedy bounces it 5 times. Now strides up. The 5'6" defensive specialist sends it over towards Michigan. It was a good serve, but dug out nicely by Burke. Now set back over by Jacobs. It was blocked at the net, but it stays on Michigan's side. Now Michigan tips it back over. Wagner sets it up. Gökçen just sweeps it over. Michigan digs it out. Setting up for the swing is Demetrician, but it's dug out nicely. Now another chance, and this time Michigan does not miss. The kill will go to Jenna Haynes, the sophomore from Poway, California. Nice back and forth rally there. Maryland warding off the Michigan point as long as possible. Had a couple nice blocks in there, but at the end of the day, the Michigan attack just too relentless. Back to serve is Allie Jacobs. Jacobs sends it over, dug out by Kennedy. Set up by Wagner for Malawal, sends it much high. And the Wolverines get to 10. They lead this one 10-4. Malawal's first swing of the day, uncharacteristically wide, maybe coming off the bench. Changes her approach a little bit. She's maybe not as warm as she would used to be. Setting for Michigan again is Allie Jacobs, and it goes right into the net. The line drive well too low, and the Maryland Terrapins collect their 5th point of the game. The second service error of the day for Michigan. Back serving is the libero Allie Williams from St. Louis. Fires it over towards the other libero, Cookrin. Set up now, dumped over by Haynes. Nice dig out there by Williams. Maryland crossed the net. It went right over, kind of towards that dead zone, right in between both teams, and Wagner went up for it, but looks like there was a violation there, so Michigan leading this one 11-5. Jenna Haynes steps back, now serves. First touch is Melby. It's a poor one. She could not get her fists under it, and trying to save it was Rohrbach, but it does hit hardwood on Maryland's side. 12-5 Michigan, and another timeout called by Coach Adam Hughes. It's his second of this game, and we are just 17 points in. Both teams taking this chance to talk it over here at the Pavilion. Maryland breaks the huddle quickly. They're all smiles as they return to the court. Again, my name is Peter Kelly. I'm joined by Mary Tompkins. Mary, we've seen about 17 points so far, and with 40 seconds to go in this timeout, I'll turn it over to you. What do you think has gone wrong for Maryland so far, and how do you think they could look to rebound?
Yeah, I think just from the start, Maryland's having trouble getting under those balls, getting being able to, send it back over. Yes, Michigan is a bit of a powerhouse here, or as they've shown in this, first couple 17 points. But I think Maryland is fully capable in responding to that if they just. I don't know if it's maybe a factor being more prepared, but I think we're seeing a lot of similar plays, similar actions from different players on Michigan. I think if Maryland's able to anticipate that a little more and kind of get into the rhythm, as we mentioned, some of the starters were not starting today, our typical starters. So I think seeing, kind of Maryland get back into a rhythm as Maryland scores a point on that play there.
Yeah, nice swing there by Haley Melby. She'll collect the kill. Her first kill of this match off of the serve by Jenna Haynes. So Maryland gets the first point out of the timeout. Always a point that you want to get. Subbing out is Lily Wagner, and her backup Annika Sokol checks back in. Sokol from Roxborough Park, Colorado, transferring in from UTSA, where she appeared in 95 sets over 27 matches. She sends this one away with the right. Dug out nicely, and now the swing taken by Nyambio. Nice dig out there by Maryland, and now Melby with the swing of her own and the kill. Back-to-back kills for Haley Melby, the transfer in from Munster, Indiana, and Kentucky. So the Terps get 2 straight points out of the timeout. Back to the service line is Annika Sokol. Sokol dribbles with both hands right into the ground. Now strides up, sends it away with the right hand. First to it is Jacobs, but it goes right back over the net, and it's Melby right there, right place, right time. She dumps it over with both hands. 3 straight points by way of Haley Melby. Sokol getting into a groove now. 3rd straight serve. 12-8 Michigan. Sokol sends it away. Dug out by Demetrician. Set up, swing, out. Michigan, another attacking error there. Lydia Johnson got her hand to it from Edmonton, Alberta. But already it's a 4-0 scoring run for Maryland. Although it looks like we are going to take a look at this play very briefly as the teams will head into a quick huddle. Looks like maybe we'll be checking to see if that swing was in or out by Lydia Johnson. It looked like it missed a few inches too long, but always worthwhile to take a look at it, and certainly Coach Erin Virtue from Michigan will want them to after a team has kind of come out of the timeout a little bit stunned, and Maryland has gotten 4 quick points. So we'll take a quick look at it. Michigan on Friday night, they were in New Brunswick, New Jersey, taking on the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers. Nice reverse sweep there. They won that one in 5 sets, 3-2. Rutgers, the only team that Maryland has beat in conference. They won that one 3-1 on October 15th. Leading the way for Michigan in that matchup was Allie Jacobs, 20 kills on 52 swings. Right behind her, Ella Demetrician, her 3rd straight double-double with 16 kills and 10 digs. In that 5th set in particular, Michigan was down 13-8. Keep in mind they were already down 2-0. They clawed back to get it to 2-2, and when they were down 13-8, it looked like all hope was lost. Not for Coach Virtue's team, though. They dug out a 7-0 run to take that one away from the Scarlet Knights. The Scarlet Knights just a little bit stunned there at the end. 7 straight points for Michigan, and they took that one 3-2. So unfortunately, we do have some bad news coming out of the timeout. The call has been reversed. So that point for Maryland will instead go to Michigan, and the deficit was cut to 3. Now jumps back up to 5. Michigan leads this one 13-8, and they will go back to the service line with Morgan Burke, the junior from Omaha. Burke standing at 6 foot. The setter sends it over with the right hand. First touch is Melby. Set up by Sokol. Back for Melby. Blocked to the net by Nyambio. Dug out again. Set up by Williams. Williams over to Melby. Melby another swing blocked by Nyambio. Another set by Sokol. This time for Scherer. And it's a 3rd straight block. But it looks like Michigan will get it. Finally a point there. And on the block again was Nyambio. Also in on it was Ella Demetrician. So very impressive stuff from Michigan to be resilient there. 3rd straight blocks, and they're rewarded with a point for their efforts. Right off the serve, Maryland will get the point. Actually, the referee back there was overruled. He first put the flag up off of this service, signaling the service error, but he was overruled. It will instead be an ace, and the ace will go in the books for Morgan Burke. This time Burke sending it over. First touch was a poor one right into the net, and so Maryland's unable to field another Michigan serve. That's been where the struggle is today. Morgan Burke back to the service line. It's 16-8, Michigan. Wolverines doubling up the Terps here in the pavilion. First touch off the serve is Kennedy, set up. Rohrbach with the swing. Nice dig out there by Jacobs. Poor set, and it goes over towards Maryland's side. Katie Scherer, the pin hitter's right there, and dumps it back over, hitting hardwood on Michigan's side. Terps finally getting a point back after that 4-0 Michigan run. Back serving is Haley Melby as the Terps complete the rotation. Melby started off this match serving. Now she sends this one away. It's going to be an ace. Very good serve by Haley Melby. The libero, Maddie Cochran, had to dive to her left, but she was not able to get it back up, and instead hits the ground, and so Maryland gets the 10 points on the day. They trail this one by 6, and Melby's back to serve again. This one sent into the net. So first a service ace, then a service error by Haley Melby. She's got one of each on the day. 17-10 Michigan, and they will go back to serve, this time with Ella Demetrician. Demetrician, as mentioned, has 3 straight double-doubles. Sending this one over, it's a spinning attempt towards Bryant. Set up by Sokol for Scherer, blocked at the net. Serena Nyambio has been everywhere, as has Allie Jacobs. And the Wolverines not letting anything by at the front line. 18-10 Michigan. Demetrician is back to serve. The 6'2" outside hitter fires it away with the right. Dug out by Bryant, right back over towards Michigan, but it's an attacking error by Allison Jacobs. Terps have just had a lot of trouble receiving these serves. They're targeting Bryant a lot. Bryant playing in that back row on the left side. They've just been clanking off of her fists and often going back over towards the Wolverines, but Maryland was bailed out there by a poor attack by Allie Jacobs. Rohrbach serves this one for Maryland after they get service back. Tipped over by Jacobs. Now Maryland will set up the offense. Sokol for Scherer. Scherer's swing just a little bit long. Michigan leads this one. Actually, the point will go towards Maryland. Looks like we had a violation on Michigan. So Scherer collects the kill. Looks like it ticked off the hands of a Michigan blocker. So the Terps still trailing this one, but only by 6 now. Rohrbach serving for the second straight chance. First to it is Burke.
And a block there from the Terps.
Yeah, nice block there by Duru Gökçen, the Istanbul native, the stellar middle blocker this year. She gets her first block of this game. Actually, the first block for the Terps in general in this game. They trail this one 18-13. Rohrbach back to serve for the 3rd straight time. Dig out there by Demetrician. Huge swing there by Nyambio. Serena Nyambio, the middle blocker from Troy, Michigan. She started every match this year. She's one of 3 Wolverines to play every set. Thunderous swing there. 19-13 Michigan. Back to serve is Maddie Cochran for the Wolverines. Dug out by Bryant. Sokol sets up Bryant. Her attempt just a little bit short. She tried to put some finesse onto it. Instead, it did not go over the net, right into the nylon. And Michigan the first to 20 here in set number 1. They did this one comfortably, 20-13. Cochran serving again. This one just a little bit out. Service error for Maddie Cochran. Terps will get service back. The team's just trading points here. Subbing back in is Lily Wagner. Wagner checks back in for Sokol, so the starting setter off the floor, and the starting setter for much of this year back on the floor. Lily Wagner, the redshirt freshman from Delafield, Wisconsin. Fires it over with the right. First to it is Gordon. Gordon fires it up towards Demetrician. Malawal tries to swing. Demetrician getting it down in the corner. Cochran sets it back up. Now Jacobs will swing. Sends it over towards Wagner. Wagner with the dig. Now Malawal swinging from the right side. Dug out by Demetrician. Back up top. Another swing for Jacobs. Blocked by Malawal. Terps gathering a little bit of momentum here. And on the block, AJ Malawal and Duru Gökçen. Gökçen her second straight block. Terps trail this one by 5, and Wagner, one of their best servers, on the server line. Wagner sends it away. First to it is Demetrician. Set up by Burke. The swing and the kill by Jenna Haynes. Jenna Haynes has been lights out over her last 8 matches. She is errorless. She's already got 3 kills on 4 total attacks today. Haynes over that stretch has collected about 45 kills and no errors. 21-15 Michigan. Back to serve is Camille Edwards from Dallas. Edwards sends it over towards Bryant. Wagner sets up Bryant. Bryant is blocked. Double block there on the right side. And on it is Lydia Johnson, as well as Jenna Haynes again. So this front line for Michigan is standing tall. Here at set number 1, they've already got 5 blocks on the day. Set over by Edwards. Wagner sets up for Malawal. Nice swing, but dug out nicely by Camille Edwards. Cochran sets it back up. Jacobs tried to dump it over, but now it's blocked again by Malawal. Set up, now swung on by Burke. It's dug out by Maryland. Now in the far corner, Bryant with the kill. Sydney Bryant, the Maryland native, getting it done for her red and gold. Terps trail by 16. They trail this one 22-16. Back to serve is Addie Kennedy. Terps trying their best to just get every shred of momentum they can as Michigan just 3 points away from taking set 1. Kennedy sends it over, dug out by Cochran. Swing and kill by Jenna Haynes. Jenna Haynes, the 6'3" middle blocker from California. Nice swing there out of the middle. She gets service back for her team. And with a chance to ice this one, it's Allie Jacobs, the grad student from Stevenson Ranch, California. Serves this one into the net. Maryland has been helped out a couple times by some key service errors from Michigan. They will get the ball back. They trail this one 23-17. Serving for Maryland is the libero, Allie Williams. Williams rises up, now sends it over. It's a good serve, diving dig. And now Michigan sends it over. Maryland dumps it back over right around the antenna. Now set up. Tried to dump it over was Demetrician, but it's blocked. Met at the net by Malawal again. And Maryland getting back-to-back points. Allie Williams back to serve yet again. (23-18) Michigan. Williams serves. First to it is Jacobs. Set up by Edwards. Swing and the kill by Demetrician. And now it's set point for Michigan. And with set point, they send Jenna Haynes back to the service line. 24-18 Michigan. They're looking to put this one away. The set by Haynes, not a poor touch by Melby. She got her hands around it, and this one will be an ace to end set number 1. Michigan takes it 25-18. Jenna Haynes caps it off with a service ace. She's the leading killer for Michigan. She's got 4 kills on 5 total attacks. That's an .800 hitting percentage. She picks up her second ace for the last point of the match. And after set 1, Maryland's already in a hole, 25-18 Michigan. Maryland dropping set 1 yet again. You would really have liked to have it, but turning it over to you now, Mary, what do you think the Terps could have done better in that first set, and what adjustments can they make as we flip the court?
Yeah, we're seeing from Michigan a lot of hits, strong hits from Allison Jacobs. And is it Nyambo? Yeah. We're seeing a lot of power coming from them towards those, outside spots. Crucial that Maryland is able to respond to that, kind of see those threats coming. What we're seeing here with Michigan in particular is when we're getting momentum from Wagner or from Malula, just the fact of Michigan able to stay calm in that sense and respond. I think going into the second set, Maryland just got to remember what they've practiced, what they're working on. Again, coming off these games, we are on a 6-game losing streak here, but just kind of remembering those games, those wins. I think just like wins, losses are equally as important in teaching where you might need to pick up momentum, take a step back from something. So I think Maryland really should take those lessons from these losses, whether that's Ohio State yesterday or just the past couple games this season, and put those lessons towards this game. Michigan is a powerful team we see here, but I think Maryland is very capable of taking on those threats, responding to people like Jacobs, and I think there's a lot of hope in these next couple sets for the Terrapins.
After one set, it's Michigan's match to lose. They lead this one 1-0. 25-18 your final score in set number 1. It's like you touched on, the Terps just got to remember what they've been working on. But a quote that I love from Coach Adam Hughes at the media day earlier this year, he knows what he's getting into with this conference, the premier conference in college volleyball. He knows. He said everyone in the Big Ten is good. You can't have an off day. One of the things that they've been trying to preach is just consistency at practice. If the Terps can be consistent, they can hang with a lot of teams, but it's especially tough here in the Big Ten. They've got 6 teams ranked nationally in the top 25. Michigan sits on the cusp. They've received 3 votes in this week's AP poll. UCLA also receiving votes 13. So that's 8 teams in the Big Ten that sit in the poll or just outside of it. The reigning national champion hails from the Big Ten. That's the Nittany Lions of Penn State. And the best team in the country hails from the Big Ten. That's Nebraska. They sit at 12-0 in conference. They are still undefeated on the year. The clear-cut #1 team in the nation. This is a Nebraska team that just is unreal. They've won around 65 straight sets, if you can believe that.
Allie Williams in as libero for the Terps.
So time has expired here in the break between sets. Michigan will start with the serve. Maryland rolls out their more traditional starting lineup, what we expected to see coming in. They'll come out with Malawal, Wagner, Gokchin. In the back row, Kennedy, Williams, and Melby. Sent over by the setter Burke. Malawal gets the first swing of the set. Dug out by Cochran. Now a swing and a kill by Michigan. Kill by Samara Gordon, the 6-foot opposite hitter from Irvine, California. Michigan drawing a lot of talent from the West Coast. A lot of players from California on this team. Michigan getting the first point of set 2, 1-0. Serving it away is Morgan Burke. Wagner sets up. Swing was out by Gokchin. So it's an attack error for the Terps, 2-0 Michigan. Gokchin, her first swing of the day. Picks up her first error. Dug out by Melby. Wagner sets up for Malawal. Nice block by Nyembio. Still alive on the Terps side. Melby swings, tipped at the net, but it stays on Michigan's side. Dumped over by Demetrician, blocked by Gokchin, but staying alive. Nice dig out there by Jacobs. Now trying to get it back over on the free ball was Michigan, but they missed wide left, so the Terps will get their first point of this match. After trailing set 1, 25-18, Terps looking to rebound in set number 2. Back to serve for the first time in set 2 is Allie Williams. Williams sends it over with the palm. Set up by Burke. Swing by Demetrician, dug out by Kennedy. Now Maryland with a swing of their own. Melby tried to go cross court, but it was blocked right into the net. So Michigan gets their third point of set 2. They lead this one 3-1. Back serving for Michigan, Ella Demetrician from Appleton, Wisconsin. Demetrician strides up, now fires away. First touch Melby. Wagner sets it up, back for Melby. Swing, dug out by Cochran. Another chance for Michigan, swing by Jacobs, dug out by Kennedy. Set up by Wagner for Malawal. Nice dig out there by Cochran. Another big swing, and this time collecting the kill is Ella Demetrician. Demetrician with some big power from the back row, and off of her own serve, she gets the kill, sending herself back to the service line. 4-1 Michigan in set 2. Demetrician sends it over. It's a miscommunication in the back row, will lead to a service ace. Addie Kennedy slid a little too far to her left. It was Melby's ball to dig back out, but Kennedy did not know that, so they collided a little bit, and it messed up Melby's rhythm. So Melby just tipped it behind her, and this time Michigan goes back to the service line. 5-1 Wolverines. Demetrician, third straight serve. Sends it over. This time Melby claims it, but it's another set of miscommunication. Wagner tried to set it up for Malawal, but Malawal had backed off. And Coach Adam Hughes has seen enough in set 2. He calls his first timeout of this set.
Yeah, Demetrician, a player to watch, I believe. Recorded a double-double with 13 kills and 12 digs. 2 aces against number 10 Purdue on November 2nd. Clearly an essential puzzle piece to this Michigan team. Again, adds to the Allison Jacobs power that they bring to the court today.
Maryland already has their hands full with this stout Wolverines team. Michigan as a team ranks in the top 5 in the Big Ten in 4 categories, and in the top half of the Big Ten in 9 of 15 categories in stats. A strength on the year has been kills per set for the Wolverines. They sit 5th in the conference in kills per set, averaging around 13.5. And their hitting percentage is always towards the top. They're hitting as a team about .281. That ranks 15th nationally. They're already doing a really good job here today of getting points without their hitting percentage being that high. Just 194, uncharacteristically low for Michigan. But not playing a part in that is Jenna Haynes, who's already hitting at an 800 clip. She leads all scorers with 4 kills on the day. For Maryland, leading the way is Haley Melby. She's got 3 kills, also an error on 9 total attacks. Katie Scherer and Sydney Bryant both have 2 kills, and that is it. Maryland just 7 kills so far. They're struggling to get the offense going, currently hitting negative 286 in set number 2. Still at the service line is Ella Demetrician. Michigan in their dark blues. Mays Michigan across the chest and Mays numerals. Out of the timeout, Demetrician serves this one away. First touch by Melby in the back left corner. Set up by Wagner. Swing by Rohrbach. Dug out by Michigan. Now a swing set up by Gordon. Blocked by Melby, staying on Michigan's side. Cochran sends it up. Swing. Blocked at the net. Jacobs tried to get her power into that, but meeting her right there was Eva Rohrbach and A.J. Malawal. The Terps getting their second point of set 2. Subbing out for Maryland is Lily Wagner and A.J. Malawal, and back in Annika Sokol and Katie Scherer. Sokol goes right back to serve. The junior setter standing at 5'10". She's got a brace on her right leg. Serves this one right into the net. Service error for Sokol, who had checked in just for that purpose. 7-2 Michigan, and it sends Michigan back to the service line with Maddie Cochran. Cochran, the graduate student libero, one of this team's captains. Sends it over with the fist. Dug out by Kennedy. Melby sets up a swing and collects the kill. Haley Melby evades the blockers, getting the Terps' third point of the set. 4 kills in the day for Haley Melby. She goes right back to serve it herself. Melby takes a breath. Now sends it away right in front of the pep band. Over towards Michigan, dug out by Jacobs. The swing by Gordon, and the kill.
Unable to get under the ball there.
Yeah, Annika Sokol tried to slide under it, but could not get her fists under it. So the kill will go in the books there for Samara Gordon. Gordon 3 kills on the day and just 4 total attacks. Back to serve for Michigan is Camille Edwards. Edwards away with the right. Dug out by Bryant. Sokol sends it up for Rohrbach. Staying alive on Michigan's side. Sends back over a free ball towards Melby. Sokol sets it up for Rohrbach, and a point for Michigan. Attacking error on Maryland. So Michigan out to a handy lead in set number 2. They lead this one 9-3 after taking set 1 25-18. Edwards serves it. First touch by Bryant. Over cross court towards Scherer. Now Bryant herself sends a free ball over towards Michigan. Dug out by Demetrician, and we're going to get an attacking error again by Michigan. Jenna Haynes went up for the swing, but she grazed the net on her way down. So Maryland collects the point off of the Michigan mistake. Eva Rohrbach goes back to serve from San Diego. 9-4 Michigan in set 2. Rohrbach, calm and collected. Sends this one over. It's a good serve towards Demetrician. Wildly attempted by Cochran, and now a free ball sent over by Michigan. Sokol, nice set back towards Bryant. The swing and the kill. Bryant got some power into that one. And after the initial dig by Michigan, they cannot save it on the second effort. So Sydney Bryant gets her 3rd kill of this match. Serving again is Eva Rohrbach. Rohrbach, the 6'2" middle blocker. Rohrbach led this team in blocks in 2024 with 108. Holds it over her head, now serves it over. This one is sent just a little bit long. Service is long for Eva Rohrbach. And so Michigan collects the point there, getting the lead back to 5. They lead this one 10-5 in set number 2. Jacobs for Michigan. Sends it over. Nice spinning serve, dug out nicely by Melby. Bryant, free ball sent over, dug out by Jacobs. Set up for Haynes. Maryland getting their hands to it and keeping it alive. Now another free ball sent over by Sydney Bryant. Set up by Edwards, tipped over by Demetrician, and off the block, Maryland unable to save it. Michigan collects the point there. They move to 11-5 in set number 2. Serving again, Ali Jacobs, the grad student outside hitter. Sends it over with the right, dig by Melby. Sokol sets it up for Scherer. Nice dig, sent a high in the sky for Michigan. Double block at the net, met by both teams. Now Maryland has it on their side. Sydney Bryant doesn't get much power into that one, and it stays with Michigan. Michigan point off of the Sydney Bryant attack error. Maryland calls their second timeout of this set. Coach Adam Hughes, his team just seems to be a little bit overwhelmed so far. They're not really playing the style of volleyball that they like. Uncharacteristic for Maryland, just 4 blocks so far in this contest. You'd like to see them rebound. Just 1 service ace, 3 service errors. Not hitting at a very good clip. They've got a negative hitting percentage in this contest. They trail this set by 7. It looks like Michigan has all the momentum right now.
Adam Hughes has said that one of their beliefs as a program is relentless pursuit. He enjoys when someone tells him, your team is fun to watch because you play so hard. So, like you said, Peter, just kind of adjusting this offense and defense in a sense so that they're able to start challenging Michigan more.
Teams will use every second of this timeout. Michigan still led on the day by Jenna Haynes. She's got 4 kills. Right behind her is Samara Gordon with 3 kills. Ali Jacobs uncharacteristically poor today, just 2 kills on 12 total attacks. She leads the team in total attacks and kills by a wide margin. She was named co-Big Ten Player of the Week for the week of September 9th after a 66 kill week over 4 matches.
Jacobs will go to the line for the Wolverines.
Ali Jacobs, hand over her heart, now sends it over with the right. First touch by Williams. Sokol sets it up for Scherer. Blocked but dug out nicely by Sokol. Maryland keeping it alive somehow, but the wild attempt by Scherer to send over a free ball goes into the right antenna. So it's another point for Michigan. Jacobs back to serve. Michigan on a 4-0 run. Terps just trying to save any shred of momentum here. The set starting to trickle away from them. First touch, who just subbed in, is Olivia Hui. Swing by Scherer. She'll collect the kill. Katie Scherer, her first kill of the day. The pin hitter has been seeing a lot more playing time as of late, including 8 kills yesterday against Ohio State. She gets the Maryland Terrapins back to the service line finally. And Lily Wagner had just checked back in. She immediately goes to serve. Nice one sent over towards the libero Cochran. Right back over towards Maryland. Hui jumps it over, but still in contest down on Michigan's side. Fake set, dumped right over towards Michigan, and it's a nice attempt by Michigan to deke out the Maryland defense, collecting their 14th point of this game. Kill is going to get credited for Camille Edwards, her first kill of the game. Sent over by Haynes. Now Maryland's got it. Hui with the swing. Nice one-handed dig by Ali Jacobs. Sent back over by Michigan. Nice diving attempt by Melby. But the point will go towards Michigan. Melby unable to keep it in play. Michigan leads set number 2 by 9. Back serving again is Jenna Haynes, as Michigan takes a second to wipe a wet spot on the floor. Michigan Wolverines 16-8 on the year, 6-7 in the Big Ten. That puts them at 11th in such a good conference. Michigan Just a game under 500, but can't even get in the top half of the conference. Serve is dug out by Williams. Tried to swing on it was Gokchin, but she sends it low. There were two blockers right there. She tried to evade them, but instead couldn't even get it over the net. 16-6 Michigan. They lead this one by double figures. It's their largest lead of this match. Third straight serve for Jenna Haynes. First two was Melby, but she could not get a good touch on it to get it to one of her teammates. Hui the closest one to it, but it's another service ace for Michigan. Haynes collecting her third ace of the game, and we're only halfway through set two. Haynes serves again. First touch by Hui. Bumped up nicely by Williams. Now Hui with the swing. She'll collect the kill. Olivia Hui, the transfer in from Arkansas, gets some power into that one. And trying to save it was Jenna Haynes, but she only tipped it backwards. Sent over towards her own bench. Maryland trying to stop the bleeding in any way they can. 17-7 Michigan. Back serving Zadie Kennedy. She runs up, now sends it towards the right corner. Dug out nicely, now swung on by Johnston.
Welby blocks that one there.
Blocked and staying over towards Michigan. Another block by Gokchin. Now Melby setting it up. Wagner over for Mallowall. Mallowall touches it over towards Michigan, and she'll pick up a nice kill. AJ Mallowall with some finesse on that one. Just putting her right where it needed to be. Not a ton of characteristic Mallowall power, but it didn't matter as she collects the kill and the point for Maryland. 17-8 Michigan. It's 2 straight points for the Terrapins.
Addie Kennedy will return to the service line for the Terps. Serve hits the net. That'll return back to Wolverines.
So Kennedy giving it right back to Michigan. They go back up by 10. Back in the serve for Michigan is Morgan Burke. The setter from Omaha, Nebraska, has the 15th best hitting percentage in the nation. Sends it over. Dug out by Melby. Now Melby pushes it back over with her right hand. Set up and a big swing by Nyambio. Serena Nyambio from Troy, Michigan. The senior getting her all into it from that middle blocker position. Collecting her third kill of the game. It's 19-8 Michigan. Another serve by Burke. Swing by Mallowall. Thundering kill by AJ Mallowall. Mallowall just rising up, putting the full force of her left fist into that one. And there is nothing that you can do as a defense to stop AJ Mallowall. Back to serve is Allie Williams. Dug out by Demetrician. Nyambio runs over cross court. It was blocked at the net, but the point will go to Michigan. Getting her hand on it on the block was Haley Melby, but it goes into the stands. So Michigan collects the point there. They get to 20 in set number 2. 20-9, your score. Running serve sent over by Demetrician. Melby to Wagner, back to Melby. Swings, dug out nicely by Cochran. Flicked back over by Burke, dumped over by Jacobs. Wagner, Williams. Now Mallowall swings, sends it long. Attacking there by AJ Mallowall. That'll be her second error of the day. Another timeout is called. Or it looks like actually we'll be taking a look at this one on the review. I think they'll see if Mallowall's swing was tipped out by a Michigan player, in which case the point would swing back towards Maryland. Regardless of the call, even if the point goes back towards Maryland, they still will trail the set by double digits. They look a little bit overwhelmed in set number 2. Mary, what do you want to see from the Terrapins as they try to avoid going down 2-0 against a tough Wolverine squad?
Yeah, I think they're starting to pick up the momentum. We're seeing that from people like Bryant, Melby. But a second part of that is it's crucial just to control that power. Like we're seeing here under this challenge, it's very well that, hit that was landed outside could have been tipped by a player, but if it wasn't, that's something that really has to be maintained by the Terps. Obviously, they're, beginning to really respond to this Michigan, these threats from Michigan. So I think just seeing Maryland kind of ease their way into it, control their momentum, I think that's really important when you have momentum, and continue working together. We've seen a couple miscommunications here throughout the sets, but I think if they continue to work together, understand each other's strengths, and kind of trust that they can do it for each other, they could have a positive impact.
So the ref's still taking a look at this one. Might as well take a look at it and request them to take a look at it if you're Coach Adam Hughes. Looks like the referee ready to deliver his decision. So the call will be reversed. Maryland picks up the point. AJ Malawal picks up the kill. Assisted by Allie Williams, and Maryland still trailing this one by 10, but they will go back to serve. Down 20-10. Trying to go on a bit of a run here to salvage set 2. Back serving is Allie Williams, the libero from St. Louis, Missouri. The senior averaging around 3.3 digs a set.
Seems to be a lot of water on the Michigan side of the floor. Taking a couple seconds before this served to get a towel out.
Williams serves it over. First touch by Nyambio, sends it long. Tried to swing on it was Rohrbach, but back towards Michigan. Now a chance for Michigan. Allison Jacobs. Her attack was long, and the point will go back towards Maryland. 22-11 Michigan. Back serving again is Allie Williams. Another attacking error by Allison Jacobs. Jacobs 4 errors on the day. Bit of a pause here. Coach Hughes marking something down on his notepad. And it looks like the call will be reversed. The point is going to go back towards Michigan. Unsure of the impetus behind that reversal. But in any case, it's 21-10, I believe. 21-10 Michigan. Serving is Maddie Cochran. If the Terps can get their substitutes ready. Katie Scherer is checked back in, as well as Annika Sokol. They're joined on the court by Addie Kennedy, Allie Williams, Aileen Melby, and Eva Rohrbach. (21-10) the score in set 2. Michigan ready to set this one away. Maddie Cochran, the libero, sends it over towards Kennedy. Kennedy to Sokol. Sokol sets it up for Rohrbach. Tried to swing, was blocked. Staying on Maryland's side. Another chance for Rohrbach. And this time the block is successful for Michigan. Michigan has just been everywhere with the blocks on the day. 22-10 Michigan. Another serve by Cochran. First touch by Kennedy. Williams sends it lofting over towards Melby. Blocked, still on Maryland's side. Sokol over towards Scherer. Her swing is long. Attacking error for Katie Scherer. And the sophomore pin hitter gives another point to the Wolverines, who are just 2 points away from taking a decisive set number 2. Running up and serving is Cochran. First touch by Melby. Push back over towards Melby. Another point for Michigan. Another blocking attempt by the Wolverines. Serena Nyambio in particular has just been everywhere as the middle blocker. She's been a part of probably the last 5 or 6 blocks for the Wolverines. And now with set point, Michigan has a chance to go to 2-0 on the day. First touch by Kennedy. Sent back over towards Melby. Tipped and blocked. Staying on Michigan's side. Demetrician running after it. And now a free ball sent over by the libero Cochran. Kennedy getting under it. Melby swings. High arcing ball on Michigan's side. Now swinging long is Michigan, but it was tipped at the net. Block attempt was unsuccessful by Maryland, and that is how set number 2 will end. Michigan never really was challenged in set 2. Hasn't really been challenged the whole day. 25-10, they take a dominant second set. They lead this one 2-0. Teams will flip courts yet again. Mary, we know the Terps had a tough 5-set loss yesterday. You thought they would come out with a little fire, but right now they just kind of look stunned. The Wolverines are really taking it to them here in the first 2 sets.
For sure, yeah. I think Michigan is bringing a lot of momentum. As I mentioned earlier, I think the Terps are really starting to respond to it. We're seeing a lot of power from Melby and Bryant and players like that, but I think continuing to maintain it, being consistent with their power, how they respond with their defense, staying cohesive, using that teamwork as well as communication is essential for them to start getting some points on the board ahead of Michigan.
Tough first 2 sets for Maryland against Michigan here on this Sunday afternoon. We got about 4 minutes to go before set number 3. That means we'll kick it to a quick break in between quarters. We'll get you back with all the third set action here on WMUC Sports. Back for set number 3 at the Pavilion. Again, my name is Peter Kelly. I'm joined this afternoon by Mary Tompkins. We've got it for you for WMUC Sports Radio. We appreciate every one of you for tuning in. This is trending to be a quick one, and if it does end up being a quick one, we invite you to kick it over to our women's basketball broadcast. That'll be on WMUC Sports 1, where the Maryland women's Terps, the number 10 ranked team in the preseason poll, take on the Hoyas of Georgetown. So after the men's team could not get it done on Friday night, losing that one 70-60 against the Hoyas, the Lady Terps will get a chance to get it done today. That game tips off right about now at 1 p.m. just behind us in the Xfinity Center. But for now, we'll wrap this up here in the Pavilion for you. And subbing in for the first time today and serving is Alex McGilvery from Maryland. She sends it over, but the first point of this set will go towards Michigan after a nice kill by Serena Nyambio. So the 5 out of the break for Maryland. In the back row, Williams, Melby, and Alex McGilvery, the junior from Solana Beach, California. And up in the front row is Dura Gokchin, Lily Wagner, and AJ Malawal. Served by Demetrician, dug out by Wagner. Whistle blown, and the point will go towards Maryland. Violation there by the Wolverines. And it goes to 1-1 in set number 3. Back to serve another new substitution for Maryland, Jonas Spahn, the junior from Lewis Center, Ohio. Spahn played a fair amount last year, not as much this year. She started 4 games as the defensive specialist from the Rutgers game on October 15th to October 25th at the UCLA game on the West Coast before being replaced in the starting lineup by Addie Kennedy. She gets her first action of today here in set number 3. Coach Hughes realizing this game might be getting away from him a little bit, so he's using this chance to get some reps, some of his depth pieces off the bench, seeing what they can do as the season kind of trickles down. He'll hope to retain a lot of these girls for next year. They only have 2 seniors on this roster. Look at a lot of talent coming back. Served by Spahn. Michigan dumps it over, and some miscommunication on the return by Maryland. Malawal and Kennedy run into each other, and it's 2-1 Michigan. Back to serve for the Wolverines is going to be Maddie Cochran, the libero from Illinois. Cochran strides up, now sends it away towards Melby. Nice sliding setup by Wagner, but no one was there. Wagner did all she could there. She slid under it, bumped it back up, gave her teammates a chance, but just no one gave pursuit of the high arcing ball on that far side. So it's 3-1 Michigan. Cochran serves this one away. McGilvery gets under it, but it's tipped over by Michigan, and it's a quick 4-1 lead in set 2. Allison Jacobs getting her hand to that. It's been a common thread of today. The Terps just have not known what to do with the Wolverine serves. This one by Cochran, sent over towards McGilvery. McGilvery keeping it on the Terps side. Wagner sets it up nicely for Melby. Nice dig by Jacobs. Now a swing by Samara Gordon. Bumped over back towards Michigan by Maryland. Set up again for Gordon. Met at the net and blocked by Maryland. And on that play was Eva Rohrbach, the junior from San Diego. So it's 4-2 Michigan. Subbing back in for the Terrapins is Annika Sokol, as well as Katie Scherer. That means checking out will be AJ Malawal and Lily Wagner. Annika Sokol, the junior from Colorado, serves it over. It hits the top of the net, but stays on Michigan's side. Demetrician pushes it over with the left hand. Now setting it up is Sokol. Melby trying to get to it. Blocked and staying on Maryland's side. Sokol this time setting up Scherer. Sends it over softly towards Burke. Now over towards Gordon. Pushes it over. Maryland sets it up again. Williams over to Scherer. Scherer with a big swing. Sends it long. (5-2) Michigan lead in set number 3. Michigan took the first set 25-18. They took the second set 25-10. Maryland has been behind the 8 ball this entire match. Served by Michigan. Now sent over towards Rohrbach. Didn't get her hand fully to that one, but sends it over towards Michigan anyways. Back towards Maryland. Dug out by Rohrbach. Now a swing and dug out by Cochran. Big swing from the middle, staying alive for the moment, but now the kill will go to Ella Demetrician. Demetrician getting a lot of power into that, swinging from the back row. Now is 6-2 Michigan. Ella Demetrician, her 3rd kill of this match.
Camille Edwards at the line for the Wolverines.
Edwards serves it. Sokol sets it up for Melby. Nice dig out there by Demetrician, and Michigan somehow keeping it alive and sending it over towards Maryland. Another swing by Melby, set up by Edwards, dug out by Demetrician in the back row, and punched over by Jacobs. Michigan doing a heck of a job to keep these rallies alive. Melby swings for the 3rd straight time, and she is met by 2 Wolverines at the net. Double block by Michigan. In on it was Lydia Johnson. Timeout called by Coach Adam Hughes. He's just a little bit stunned. The Wolverines have not had to call timeout in this contest. Coach Hughes for the Maryland Terrapins has called 6. 7-2 Michigan.
Michigan having 7 blocks this entire match. Maryland trailing behind with 6. I think seeing more Maryland blocks would be ideal. But understandably, those kills and those hits from the Wolverines are pretty powerful and proving to the Terrapins difficult to get to.
Maryland just struggling to keep pace in this Big Ten matchup with the Michigan Wolverines. As mentioned, Maryland currently on a 6-game losing streak. Over that stretch, they have won just 5 sets. Their last win coming October 15th against Rutgers. They won that one 3-1. That was to snap another 6-game losing streak. Over that stretch, they won just 4 sets. A lot of the Terrapins wins coming out of conference, in particular some big wins over Delaware State, UMBC, William and Mary, and Seton Hall. Here at home, they got a nice 3-0 sweep. Their non-conference losses coming against North Carolina and Coastal Carolina down at the UNC tournament, and against Wake Forest. That was a career-high game for A.J. Malawal, who collected 21 kills. However, that game a 3-1 loss to the Demon Deacons. That brings the Terps record to 8-15 on the year, 1-12 in the Big Ten. They're looking to snap a losing streak. They're looking to get to 2-13 in the Big Ten. But right now, they've got a lot of work to do. 7-2 in set number 3 in favor of Michigan. Sent over by Edwards. Swung on by Melby, and she collects the kill. Haley Melby, her 5th kill of the day, leading Maryland. And Maryland back to the service line. It's Melby herself with the ball in her hands. Subbing out is McGilvery. Back in for Maryland is Olivia Huey. 7-3 Wolverines. Melby fires it over, dug out by Cochran. A nice diving attempt by Edwards to save it, and now a free ball sent over by Johnson. First one to it is Melby, set up by Sokol for Katie Scherer. Right off the arm of a Wolverine, and the kill. Katie Scherer, her 4th kill of the day. Just too much power for the back row woman, Ella Demetrician. 7-4 Maryland, trailing this one still, but picking up some momentum. Melby, deep breath, now serving for the 2nd straight time, over towards Cochran. Edwards sets it up. Dumped over by Haynes. Now staying alive on Maryland's side. Huey tries to set up the swing, but it was blocked at the net. Jenna Haynes and Lydia Johnson with the double block. 8-4 Michigan. Back to serve for the Wolverines is Allie Jacobs. Jacobs with the right, fires it over towards Melby. Sokol sets it up, swung on by Huey, but it's sent long. Olivia Huey subbing in for the first time today, wearing number 19. The redshirt sophomore from Arkansas started in all but 4 matches for Arkansas at outside hitter. She was outside hitter on that swing, but she sent it long, so it's an error for Maryland on the attack. And this time a service ace will come for Allison Jacobs. Maryland just did not want to approach that one, and it lands perfectly placed in the back row between Allie Williams and Haley Melby. 10-4 Michigan. Jacobs sends it away again. First to it is Huey. Sokol sets it up. Rohrbach could not get it over the net. It's starting to crumble a little bit for Maryland. They're struggling with the fundamentals. Rohrbach had to get about 6 inches to get it over the net. She could not reach it. Just not enough touch on that one. 11-4 Michigan, a timeout called by Coach Hughes. And this Terps team and this Terps fan base just looking a little bit shell-shocked. He thought maybe the Terps could be competitive after a high-energy loss yesterday. They maybe want to get their get-back out there today. But unfortunately, this game has been anything but. Terps had 1 lead in this game. It was early on in set number 1. Since then, it's been all Michigan. The Terps have not led in set 2 or set 3. In order to keep this match alive, they'll need to surmount this 7-point deficit here in set 3. That's to even force it to a 4th set where they would still be trailing 2-1. Looking down the road for Maryland. After today, they'll take on Purdue. They'll travel to the 9th-ranked Purdue Boilermakers. That is Friday night over in West Lafayette at 7 p.m. They'll continue to stay out Midwest. In Indiana, they'll go to the Assembly Hall, take on the Indiana Hoosiers on Sunday the 16th. That'll be at noon. Their next home game on the agenda is Friday the 21st. That'll be against Minnesota. The game will be televised on Big Ten Plus. It'll be tipping off here at the Sean Wall Pavilion at 7 p.m. 11-4 Michigan in set 3. Clock winding down in this timeout. The teams have retaken the floor.
Jacobs will return to the service line for the Michigan.
Jacobs will take her 4th straight serve. The Wolverines are on a 4-0 run with Jacobs serving. First touch by Williams. Nice dig out there. Double block by Michigan. Rohrbach got her power into that one. Try with the big swing. But the double block there again by Ella Demetrician and Jenna Haynes. 12-4 Michigan. The lead grows for the Wolverines and Coach Erin Virtue. Jacobs serves again. Over towards Williams. Sokol sets it up for Rohrbach. This swing just a little bit wide. Rohrbach evaded the blockers, but she sent it left of the line. And with another attack error from Maryland, they trail this one by 9, 13-4. Jacobs rises up and serves for the 6th straight time. This time a swing by Hui and the kill. Olivia Hui stopping the bleeding for a moment. Swinging on that one with the left, and the opposite getting the point from Maryland. They trail this one 13-5. 13-5, Michigan leading. Eva Rohrbach back to serve. The junior wearing number 44 from San Diego. Has 14 aces this year, sends it over towards Demetrician. Set up by Edwards from the back row. The swing by Jacobs is good for another kill for Allison Jacobs, this team's leader in kills by a wide margin. 14-5 Wolverines. The maize and blue has been unstoppable here today. Jenna Haynes runs up, now floats it over towards Melby. Sokol sets it up, swung on by Hui, blocked at the net, out of bounds, point for Maryland. Another double block there from Michigan.
Hui, a redshirt sophomore, 16 kills against Davidson September 13th, and herded 9 kills against Coastal Carolina August 29th. So great seeing her take some action here today.
Back to serve for Maryland is Lily Wagner. The setter just checked back in. Her team trailing by 8. Swung on by Michigan, but a nice double block there for Maryland. Getting in on the action was Duru Gakchin along with Olivia Hui. 14-7 for Michigan. Terps starting to claw their way back into this one. Still have a long way to go though. Wagner back to serve for the 2nd straight try. Dug out by Cochran. Swing on by Nyambio. Now another swing attempt by Johnson. Mallowell digs it out. Gakchin getting her hands to it and punched over by Hui. But there was a collision in midair and the point will go to Michigan. 15-7 Wolverines. Michigan front line has been very active today around the net. In particular, Serena Nyambio with 4 blocks and Jenna Haynes with 5 blocks. 15-7 Michigan. Sent over by Burke. Now the swing by Mallowell, punched over and dug out by Cochran. Swing on the opposite side for Gordon. Gordon sends it wide, and the point will go to Maryland. Samara Gordon, an attack error. Her 2nd one of the day. 15-8 Michigan. Back to serve is Olivia Hui, wearing number 19 for the Terps, dressed in red. Hui trots up, now sends it right into the net. Another service error from Maryland. Hui just leaving a little bit short. She'll sub out. Checking back in is Alex McGilvery.
Maryland at 24 errors this entire match, with Michigan only at 11. Crucial to start minimizing those.
16-8 Michigan. Wagner, nice back set for Gakchin. Blocked the net by staying on Michigan's side. Swing by Gordon. Dug out over there by McGilvery. Wagner, nice forward set for Melby. Tipped over towards Michigan. Set up by Burke. From the back row swinging is Demetrician. And unable to keep it in play is Alex McGilvery. So a point again for Michigan, 17-8. And we are rapidly approaching the end of the 3rd set and the end of this game. Served on by Ella Demetrician. Service ace for Ella Demetrician. Placing it perfectly in the back right corner. Maryland just not knowing what to do on these tricky services by Michigan. They trail this set by 10, 18-8. Demetrician back to serve again. Floats it over. Dug out. Wagner sending it back. Free ball blocked by Gordon. Staying alive on Maryland's side. Mallowell swings. Hits the top of the net and stays on Michigan's side. Burke sets it up for Jacobs. unable to be dug out by McGilvery, and it's going to be a kill for Allison Jacobs. Her 6th kill of the match. That equals the team lead with Nyambio. 19-8 Michigan. Serving for the 4th straight time, Ella Demetrician. Demetrician over towards Melby. Set up by Wagner from Mallowall. Mallowall with the kill. AJ Mallowall just what the doctor ordered there. Stopping the 4-0 run from Michigan and getting the Terps back to the service line. Checking in is the other libero from Maryland, Jonas Spawn, wearing the white libero shirt with the red 7 numeral on the front. Floats it over, dug out by Demetrician, set up by Burke for Gordon, double block by Maryland, and they get 2 points in a row. Eva Rohrbach was in on the block.
Maryland beginning to redeem themselves here, making the gap only 9 points with Michigan up ahead.
Serve again by Spawn. Trying to swing was Nyambio. Nice dig by Spawn. Diving attempt, keeping it alive. Maryland sends it over, and a nice point for Maryland. They get the point, 3rd straight of the game. Beautiful sent over. Looked like it had no hope. It was just lobbed over with the left fist of Haley Melby, but she was somehow able to place it in the corner. Terps trail this one by 8. Spawn back to the service line. Poor touch by Cochran. Now free ball just sent over by Jacobs. Rohrbach to Wagner. Sets it up for Melby. Melby gets the kill. 4 straight points for Maryland. This game not over yet. And Jonas Spawn goes back to the service line. Ever since she stepped onto the floor, the Terps have gotten some momentum back.
Maryland on a 4-point scoring run. Just before that, I had to note that they were visibly getting frustrated right then and there as the Wolverines take a kill.
Yeah, nice kill over there by Samara Gordon. Gordon getting her all into that one, rising up and slamming it home with the right hand, stopping the scoring run and getting Michigan back to the service line where it's Maddie Cochran, who's been so dangerous here today. The 5'5 libero from Downers Grove, Illinois, sends it over towards Maryland, number 5. Alex McGilvery. They poke it over back towards Michigan. Gordon fights it over towards Michigan. Staying on Maryland's side, McGilvery sends it over towards the Wolverines. Cochran sets it up, swung on by Haynes, blocked, staying alive on Michigan's side. Lobbed up, now swung on by Jacobs. Wagner bumps it up. Now Williams. Mallowall swings with the left. Dug out by Gordon, sends it back over the net. Goes out of bounds, a point for Maryland off of a hard-fought rally. 20-13, Michigan. Back to serve for Maryland for the first time today is AJ Mallowall. Mallowall sends it over with the left. Dug out by Cochran. The swing by Jacobs, and she'll collect the kill. The Terps did all they could. Hitting the deck there were Mallowall and Wagner, but Jacobs just too powerful. And the California native gets her 7th kill of this game. Back serving from Michigan, Camille Edwards, the redshirt freshman from Dallas. Missed most of last year with an injury in game 1. This time she collects a service ace. Camille Edwards getting her first ace of the day, tagging that on to 6 assists and 5 digs. Edwards doing a nice job as the second setter, backing up Morgan Burke. Setting again. Now Maryland with the swing. Scherer over towards Cochran. Swung on by Michigan, perfectly placed. Lydia Johnson celebrating with her team, and Michigan can feel it. Just 2 points away, they have a comfortable 10-point lead. Camille Edwards, as the Wolverines lead this one 23-13 in set number 3. They lead this one 2-0. First touch by Melby. Sokol, cross court, Melby blocked. That one will go out of bounds, and it will stay with Maryland. Terrapins collecting the point there. Nice double block by the Wolverines, but they could not keep it in play. So Maryland trying to salvage something here. Melby goes to the service line, trying to just get one more point for her team. Sending it over is Melby. Service ace for Haley Melby. The Michigan backline just misread that one, and it falls perfectly in the tan hardwood, right inside the line. The ace goes in the books from Melby. her second ace of the day. Now serving again is Haley Melby. This time Cochran digs it out. Cross court set, punched over by Jacobs. Nice dig by Sokol, but it wasn't enough. Annika Sokol got her hands under it, but sent it right back up into the net. And Michigan now just 1 point away from taking this match. And serving for the match, the best scorer on this team, Allison Jacobs, rises, now fires. First touch, Huey. Sokol sets it up. Scherer serves it long. That is how this one ends. Michigan does it decisively. They take this one 3-0. First set 25-18, second set 25-10, third set 25-15. Maryland had one lead in this match. That was with the first points of game number 1. They led this one 1-0. They led this one only 1-0. That was all they could do today. It was a dominant effort by Coach Erin Virtue and the Michigan Wolverines.
Yep. Maryland continues on with a 7-game losing streak now. As you mentioned, some games coming up ahead. Hoping to see some improvement from the team.
Tough one again for Maryland. Coach Adam Hughes certainly has a lot to work on with his team as this game trickles down and this season comes to a close. As mentioned, next up for Maryland, they'll travel on Friday to take on the Purdue Boilermakers, the nationally ranked Boilermakers, ranked number 9 in the country. They sit at 19-3. That game is at 7 on Big Ten Plus. For the Wolverines, after this game, they'll go back home to take on their dreaded rival, the Ohio State Buckeyes. That game will be at 7 p.m. Ohio State dead last in the Big Ten. Wolverines looking to keep their momentum going with a win there. That'll just about do it for us as the Terps sing an alma mater. Wish it could have been done in a winning fashion. But unfortunately, the Terps lose their 7th straight. They drop to 8-16, 1-13 in the Big Ten. That's all we got here for WMUC. Michigan takes this one 3-0. For Mary Tompkins, I've been Peter Kelly.